From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, June 21st, 2021. We'll start with the hazards map here across the entire country of Canada. Nothing going on across the Canadian Prairie. We do have a special weather statement here across portions of southern British Columbia. That's just addressing the warm and dry weather in that region. And then additionally, we've got a severe thunderstorm watch across southern portions of Ontario here early this morning. We'll go ahead and jump ahead. We'll look at the satellite picture, and I'm going to get the screen rolling here so I can draw on it, do my little sportscaster thing, and show you that you can actually pick out the flow of the jet stream here as we watch this animation coming up and over the top of a ridge of high pressure here over the west coast of the U.S., the Pacific Ocean, and we've got a trough kind of digging in here with thunderstorms along that across the Midwest of the United States. But cooler, drier air coming in across the prairie right now. It's going to be a bit of a slightly cooler, but definitely drier next 5 to 7 days, if not next, 1 to 2 weeks. Although the heat will be returning, it's going to be the drier weather that's going to be staying. As we look at the satellite picture here and then change over to the radar, we've got a clear picture on the radar here. No precipitation ongoing across the prairie provinces on Monday morning. It's going to be a pretty dry first couple of days of the week here. We'll have a chance for some isolated to scattered showers here as we get into late Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's bring this back to Monday. We're going through a mostly sunny day for a lot of folks, especially in the west. Maybe a few more clouds as you head over toward the east in Manitoba. This is as we get into Monday night now. A lot of this probably not actually making its way to the ground, but maybe a raindrop or two here as we go through Monday night into Tuesday across we'll call it eastern portions of Saskatchewan into southwest Manitoba. But another pleasant Tuesday on tap. A few scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm across northern portions of the prairie provinces. And then as we get into Tuesday night and then Wednesday, we'll see that better chance for a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms across the rest of the region here. Just about everyone with that chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday, but a lucky few will see that downpour, and then the majority of us here are going to come out on the drier side. As we look at total precipitation forecast between now and Thursday evening, again, a little corridor here coming in Wednesday with some light precipitation across southern portions of the prairie. We'll show side by side the NAM on the left, the European model on the right. European model a little bit more generous with the width of the swath there, but you notice much of that on the lighter side. We're talking about 5 to 10 millimeters of precipitation, maybe a couple corridors there pushing 12.5 or locally higher here. But again, the majority going to be on the drier side here. Just a quick hitting shot of some isolated showers generally during the day on Wednesday. And as we look at the next 10 days, that map doesn't change a lot. You do see another corridor here of some potential precipitation making its way through. A little bit of additional precipitation here possible across southern portions of Alberta as we get into the latter part of the next 5 to 10 day forecast. But check out the whole here being advertised across portions of south central Saskatchewan and then extending into southern Manitoba, where precipitation, you see the green there, but it's that lighter green shading where I missed it there with the circle. Let's go back here. We're talking about 2.5 to 5 millimeters. So we're definitely talking isolated light hit or miss shower activity here over the next 10 days, and maybe a lucky few picking up some more substantial moisture. But the next 5 days on top, days 5 to 10 on the bottom, we're looking at the European model precipitation anomaly forecast. A lot of yellow and orange on there. Again, the majority of us on the drier side over the next 10 days. As we look at the temperature pattern here, over the next 5 days, a little cooler, especially in the east, but heat will return as we head deeper into the 10-day forecast, getting toward the last days of June here. We'll look at the 500 millibar height pattern that's driving all of this. Again, we already drew the jet stream here flow with the satellite picture, but you can trace it over the top of the ridge in the west, down around the base of the trough here that extends from kind of central Canada, the Hudson Bay, all the way down to through the Midwest of the United States. And then we will animate that and see where we're headed. And where it is initially a couple additional shots and maybe some cooler dry air. You see another little lobe here rotating around the base of that trough as we get into Wednesday. This is what triggers that chance for some isolated to scattered showers. It's this little piece of that upper level trough swinging through the region, just enough upper level support to kick off some of those widely scattered showers with a drier pattern in place. Now, as we get into the later part of the week into the weekend, we're going to start to see that ridge begin building back into western Canada. That's going to help us warm up here, especially across western portions of the prairie. So Alberta, you're going to be talking about heat probably as we get to late week into the weekend. Manitoba, you notice you're kind of closer here still to the base of that trough. So maybe, talking about a little bit of lingering cooler air deeper into the week. The heat certainly going to be setting on initially in the west and may be lingering a little more in the west with maybe a shot of cool air or two to come in the east. The precipitation pattern that follows with all of this, again, on the drier side as we get the week started, on the back side of that trough, cooler and drier for a lot of folks. This is that Wednesday piece of the trough that rotates around the base there, bringing just a quick hitting shot of some light precipitation, maybe lingering into Thursday across portions of southern Alberta into southern Saskatchewan. That's where we get that chance for a little bit more additional precipitation there as we get into Thursday. But then that pretty much shuts us down, as we get into the end of the week. This is Friday. Getting into Saturday, you see maybe a light chance of some showers there across portions of Manitoba as we get into the weekend. But that is 5 to 7 days out, and we're talking about very light precipitation there. So do not set your hopes on that. We'll talk about it more as we get closer to the end of the week, though. Check in with that chance for some light additional precipitation. But the next week on the left, the European ensemble precipitation anomaly. Then you see a big dry corridor here across the Prairie provinces down into the northern plains of the U.S. and the upper Midwest. As we get into the week 2 forecast, still looking dry for most folks. It's advertising a little bit more in the way of moisture across western Alberta, but near average or a little bit drier is the forecast for week 2 as we get into the first several days of July. Now the temperature anomaly forecast, again, some shots of cool air, especially in the east, but heat does regain control, I guess we can call it. I was going to say rebuild across the west, especially as we get into the late part of the week, into the weekend. Could be talking about some heat across the region. You can see it here, the 10-day high and low temperature forecast for Calgary. 30 for the high today, 30 for the high tomorrow, I should say. Cooler shot of air comes in midweek, Wednesday and Thursday, but then we rebound there. Those highs back up around 30 into the low 30s as we get through the weekend into early next week. Same story in Edmonton, warming up as we get into the weekend early next week. Saskatoon, same look here in Regina. And then as we go to Winnipeg, again, maybe some lingering cooler air as we get deeper into the week. Whereas Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, in some of our more western cities, talking about low 30s for the highs, maybe upper 20s as we look at Manitoba. Again, one more plug here, info.nutrien.com/Pritchard_weather_CA gets you signed up for the daily Canadian Prairie Weather Intelligence Report. That's going to get you an updated look at what I'm watching every morning. So you get an update on the precipitation forecast over the next few days, the 5 to 10 day precipitation forecast, your 10-day temperature outlook, and more as we kind of follow the specifics and the little disturbances that make our weather so interesting here across the prairie as we head through the summer growing season. Have a great Monday. We'll talk to you again a week from today.